All right, guys, so we are ready to put our first ride on here. I'm just about ready to step on. I've got a loping hackamore on here, and I used to start everything straight into the snaffle. I'd get them ready and just kind of put them straight in the snaffle, and it was okay. It worked fine like that, but I've noticed that this gives them a lot less to worry and think about on the first ride. They can focus on just moving their feet out instead of wondering what's in their mouth and all that stuff. So it's pretty easy to transition into the snaffle within 2 or 3 rides. So I like to go ahead and put this loping hackamore on here. It really seems to work pretty well for what I do. I've got her ready here, and I'm going to show you kind of some of the things that I worked on to get her soft. Before I step on her, again, I like to be able to get some flexion here, some softness. They can bend that neck, reach around, just so they don't lock their neck and lock their head in place and kind of run off on you on the first ride. That's not something you want. I'm going to gently ask her to bring her head around to the other side. She doesn't really like to do this while I'm on this side. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just going to get a little step at a time. Make sure this side is very loose. There we go. Atta girl. Good job. You can see how she brought her head back pretty fast. She's pretty worried about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask her to do it again. And if she moves her feet, all I'm going to do is just stay right with her. I'm not going to pull harder. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Again, gently ask for that face to come around. Outside. Good girl. All right. Atta girl. Ask for this side one more time. Always make sure your outside rein is really loose so they don't have any pressure they have to pull against to get over to you. Otherwise, they'll have a tendency to walk toward you or move the hind quarter over, the hips over, instead of actually bending that neck. There we go. And I'm not a huge flexion kind of person. I don't like to soften my horses up a lot or get them really bent up in the neck, really soft in the neck. I like them to stay soft and aligned. And I've found that if you get them too flexible, then often you have a hard time getting them to go straight. So this is literally just something I do before I get on to make sure that that horse can walk around. He won't lock his face up, lock his neck in, and run off on me. It's just kind of a safety measure there. Atta girl. All right. Again, go ahead and step up here from both sides. Take a hold of that rein. Be sure you have it snugged up so if the horse decides to run forward, he's not going to kick you in the face. Go ahead and step up here, and always make sure you go straight up. You don't want to get your body weight way over the horse here and getting to where if he sees you in the outside eye, he might bolt and then you'll go over the top or something. So again, make sure that you stay straight. Don't put yourself in a compromised situation. Do that a few times. She's not too worried about that. Again, gently step up, go up straight, pat that horse on the neck, step back down. Atta girl. All right, we'll go ahead and do that on the other side. Again, I'll gather this rein up here, just snug enough. Not that she has to bend all the way around, but I do want the eye looking toward me just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, step up and go up straight. Good job. Another tip I will give you is that when you go to get up, don't drag on the horses, don't drag on the saddle horn or pull yourself up like this. Otherwise, you'll have a tendency to pull your horse off balance, pull his back out, things like that. You don't want to deal with that. So get a good grip on that mane there. And when you go to step up, turn your butt toward the back of the horse, take that horn, grab with this, and pull yourself straight up. Good job. Always keep your eyes toward the horse's face and your butt toward his back. 1, 2, 3, step up again. Easy girl. My Jean scraped on that saddle a little bit there. She got a little worried. That's okay. Atta girl. Another thing too that I do is to lunge them in this loping hackamore here. Just make sure that the pressure on the face isn't different and they don't know how to deal with that. Most of them are pretty good because again, it has a lot of the same pressure points as a halter does. It is a little bit different, but not like a bit. So usually they transition just fine. I'm going to go ahead and another thing I like to do is to make sure that this horse is 100% comfortable with the saddle moving around. Be sure those stirrups can go up back near her flank and up near her shoulders and she's not goosing around or flinching. If she's goosing around and flinching from that, you get your legs wrapped around there and she doesn't know how to get away from it, you're going to have a problem. So again, move these stirrups around, kind of slap them up and down a little bit, make sure that doesn't bother her. Smack the saddle, jump up and down next to them, Make sure that this horse isn't running off or bolting. You can see she's a little bit worried, but I've noticed that she a lot of colts will just brace up a little bit in the neck, just trying to hold that saddle in place more than anything. Good girl. That's okay. Check your stirrups again. Doesn't seem to have a problem with that. Take her over here. Show you guys the other side. I'll do the exact same on the other side. And I've been pretty thorough with this. I prepped her with this before when we had her saddled in the past, and so she's not showing a big response. I wanted to be able to run through this quickly on her first ride video, so I didn't have to spend 20-30 minutes just showing you guys how to get the horse over this. But you will have to put the time in to make sure your colt isn't afraid of these things, because often horses will, when you go to swinging the stirrup around for the first time, they're going to be goosey about it. So take your time. It may take you 2 or 3 hours, may take you 10 minutes, depending on the horse. Just take your time and make sure that's thorough. I'm going to swing these stirrups around here, pop them up and down. I don't have any response from her. That's good. She's very relaxed. You can slap her all over. No flinch in that flank area. It's very good. Rub her up and down the neck. And like I talked about in the saddling video, I don't like to sneak around my horses. I really like to move consistently. I like to move confidently. I don't like to just be jolty or jerky and scare them, but at the same time, I like there to be a constant flow of energy to there. That horse doesn't have time to stop and worry about what might happen to him. He just got to know that I'm in control of the situation and I'm going to take care of him. Good job. All right, I'm going to go ahead and step on here. So again, gather my rein up here, put my foot in that stirrup, get myself close to the horse, get a handful of that mane. I'm going to step up. I'm going to swing on. There we go. And I got a tight grip on that rein in case something goes wrong. I can gently pull that face around and stop her. I'm going to move my legs around her sides a little bit. Just get her used to me feeling me up here. And I'm going to go ahead and step off. Just like we did with the saddle. You don't have to rush into getting those first steps or that first ride. Good job. And no matter how calm my colt is, then I tend to do this with every single one of them. Just step on and then like a pressure and release situation, so they know that there's a way out and you're going to take care of them. Good job. All right, now it's okay. She's niggering to some horses outside. You're fine. So just like I did on the ground, I'm going to gently take that face and hold her here until she gives me that nose. This is fine. She's not being bad. There we go. I would just like her feet to stop before I release. There, make sure your legs aren't bumping on that horse or asking her to move either. Good job. Atta girl. So we're going to go the other way. Make sure your outside rein is loose. Very nice. She gave that to me right away. I'm going to pet her neck. Ask her it again. Good job. Like I said, I don't like to quit moving up here, so I'm going to gently ask her to walk off. And another thing is when your horse takes those first steps, don't tense up. Don't get scared. Don't get nervous and clamp down, because that's going to make your horse nervous. You got to be there for him. Going to go ahead and reach that rein out and guide her over. Wait till she steps over. Good job. That's very nice. She's starting to move out pretty nicely, pretty relaxed. I like how this looks. I like how it feels. Ask her to step over again. And I like to work on one side at a time until that horse gets relaxed, and then I'll go to the other side. Often when you switch sides on a colt, they'll have a tendency to get a little worried, a little scared, because they've been thinking about one side. Say, for instance, this horse has seen me on this right side of her body this whole time. When I go to switch to the left, there's a chance that she'll have forgotten that I was up there. So keep walking. She's locking her feet down a little bit. I'm just going to sit back and keep bumping until she steps forward, and then I'm going to release. Good job. Atta girl. Very nice. So she's tipping her nose to the outside there. I'm going to gently ask her to bring it back, because again, you don't want her to look to the outside suddenly, realize you're up there, and then bolt off. Just be careful, be cautious about that. Watch that horse. Watch his body language. All right, so I'm going to set my reins up here, gently gather the outside rein up just a little bit more, switch my whole body, and start riding to the left. Again, stay centered on that horse. You don't want to be riding your body to the right and then steer the horse to the left. That's not going to work out well if he decides to move quickly. Guiding her around. She's guiding around really nicely. I like this. The head is low. She's pretty relaxed. All her body language is telling me that she's okay with this. There we go. And when I go to steer these colts around, I set this inside rein up here, and I don't try to pull them where I want them to go. I'm going to set it up gently, and then I'm going to push from the outside. I'm not going to pull any harder if they don't get over there. I'm just going to keep on gently bumping until they find that spot. So again, set that rein up, push from the outside until they step underneath. I don't go and pull this rein harder and trying to get the horse to step over there, because that'll just shut a colt down. There you go. We want forward movement in those feet all the time. There we go. Gently set that up, and I'm just going to keep on bumping with the outside leg, gently, outside rein, and just wait until she guides over there. Excellent. Good job. All right, I'll go ahead and ask her up to a trot here. And she kind of volunteered that a little bit, but I'm also not going to shut it down, because if this horse wants to move out and he's relaxed, I'm going to let him go forward there. What you don't want to do is stay at a walk so long that the horse gets locked up in his feet and starts worrying about stuff. Again, she's slowed down here. She's a little worried, so I'm going to gently ask her to keep going. I want her to move through her worry a little bit more here, at least at a walk. I'll go ahead and ask her back up to a trot. Atta girl. Good job. Keep on guiding her around. She's drifting to the outside of this arena more and more, so I'm going to guide her back to the center, kind of take that bubble away. Guide her back over here. There we go. Release right there where she's heading up this way. There we go. I like this. She's pretty relaxed and confident, but she's still very feely. So I used to walk, trot, and lope my horses on the first ride. Every single one of them. I was convinced that that was the way to go, because there's a lot of big name trainers that tell you, okay, you got to walk, trot, and lope on the first ride. But over time, I started seeing the consequences of that. There are horses who can handle that kind of pressure, and there are horses who cannot. If you have to stay at a walk and a trot the first 3, 4, 5 rides, that's okay. Just be sure you do get that horse's feet out and moving. Be sure that he can long trot. Be sure that he can move out. And ideally have him loping by the 3rd ride. I wouldn't go much longer than that without getting that horse moved out. But if you have a horse that's very feely and is struggling to relax at a walk and a trot, don't go trying to push him up to a lope. That's not going to help anybody. Gently push her up to a trot here. And I'm going to keep my butt grounded in that saddle. I can see her neck coming up there a little bit. She's a little worried about me talking up here. That's okay. She's doing very nicely. I'm going to reach that rein out gently and guide across and wait till she moves over. She slowed her feet down. That's okay. We'll gently pick back up on that straight line. And again, when I was working on reaching that flag over the neck, this is where it comes in very handy, because on a colt, you really have to exaggerate that steering. You're going to reach your hand out here and ask him to step underneath that rein. We're trying to get him to guide off the inside rein. If he's worried about your hand coming out here, you're going to have a lot of issues there. There we go. Gently ask her to step up again. She's looking to the outside. I'm going to gently bump that nose back to the inside. And whenever she's going where I want her to, I'm going to keep my hand centered. When I want her to guide, I'm going to reach that hand across and ask her to step underneath it with her feet. She wants to slow down to do it, but at least she's giving me the correct answer. That's okay. As we taught her in all our other sessions, and you can see in the videos that we did in the past with her, I kept emphasizing that I wanted her to think about slowing down instead of speeding up when she got uncomfortable. So that's what she's doing here. Atta girl. I'm going to trot her around a little more. I want her to stay at a little bit more of a consistent trot for a few circles before I go ahead and shut her down, because she needs to be a little more confident and relaxed about moving out. There we go. If I have to, I'll bring that rein back there and spank her. I don't like to kick my horses or bump on them too long, otherwise they just get really numb to it. And you don't want your horse getting numb, otherwise you have to use more and more pressure. And when this horse can trot a consistent circle to the right here, with me guiding her around, I'm going to quit. You got to pick a destination, a goal, and you got to shut them down when they feel good. There we go. As long as she's doing the right thing, I'm going to keep my hands centered. I'm going to keep my seat quiet. And I'm not going to cluck at her. I'll release all pressure. That was nice. She trotted right through there. That's what we were looking for. I'll ask one more time. She's kind of dropping that shoulder in. Ask her to step up here. Really drive with my seat. Don't let that head look to the outside. That's not safe. Now I'm going to take my rein back here and tell her, hey, I'm going to have to get after you if you don't step up. This horse is very feely, so I don't have to use a lot of pressure to get her to move forward. There we go. If I feel her slowing down, I'm going to catch her before she gets too slow. She's really starting to drop the shoulder in really bad, so I'm just going to go ahead and take her and steer her to the outside, and we're going to go left. Because she has no shoulder control yet, I can't just push that shoulder back out. Gently walk forward. I'm going to say, hey, please step up. I'd like you to walk forward there. Good girl. If you have a horse that's just starting to drop her shoulder in and kind of dive into that circle, just go ahead and gently take him the other direction. And that's going to help get this horse balanced out a little more. Right now, she has her mind set on where she wants to be, where she wants to go. And so, if we start just kind of where she picks a spot, I'm going to take her the opposite direction. And that's going to help this horse get balanced out. There we go. Got her right through this spot right here. She's moving out really nicely. That head's dropping down. That's really cute. We're going to slow down right here. Just gently pick up there. And I'm just going to wait for her to come back to me. Very nice. Good job. You don't want to pull harder there, because often you make the horse claustrophobic, and instead of slowing down, he actually tries to speed up to run away from it. Good job. I work on that on the ground too. I do make sure that I can pick up those reins, reach my hand over that neck, pick up those reins, and gently guide that horse backward off that pressure. Good job. All right, go ahead and shut her down here. Pet her a little bit, ask her to back up. Gently, gently, just wait her, and every single time she takes a step, I'm going to release. I know I'm quite a ways from the camera here. It's going to be hard to see what I'm doing. So I'm just gently gathering up that rein and releasing it every step she takes. I want to stop and dismount over here so that this horse understands there's a release over here. Again, like I said, I don't want to get off next to the gate all the time. I don't want her drifting over there all the time and finding release over there. So I'm going to go ahead and step off here. Take that mane, make sure the horse knows you're up there. Rub your legs around on her, gather those reins up here, and smoothly step off. Good job. Good girl. Go ahead and pet this horse. I'm going to go ahead and loosen her cinch while I'm over here. Again, make all the release that I can possible. Atta girl. That was very nice. All right, guys, so that completes it for Nayla's first ride. And in the first ride, I tend to focus on getting those feet moved out and getting that horse relaxed with me being up on his back more than guiding or steering or things like that. I don't stop and back up a lot. I don't steer around a lot. I don't make it very complicated. It's just move your feet while I'm on top of you. So, while I'm on your back. And again, like I mentioned before, most horses I will lope on the first ride, but there are some that I don't. She is one that I don't. She's been a very difficult horse. She's extremely feely. She has a tendency to get emotionally and mentally overwhelmed very quickly. So my job is to set her up for success every step of the way. If that means taking it slower, I'm going to take it slower. I'm going to do what this horse needs in the moment. If you have a horse that you feel can lope on the first ride, go ahead and do it. By all means, that is honestly the best option if you can do it. But don't get yourself hurt. Don't get your horse hurt trying to rush that because some big trainer told you need to walk, trot, and lope on the first ride. I used to think you did. It's not entirely necessary. And I've seen damage done to horses by trying to push them that far, like I mentioned before. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. Leave me a comment below. Please be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed these videos, and we'll have more out for you. Thank you so much for watching.